Hello, Professor Bright here. Welcome back to A House of Many Doors, where last episode we actually spoke about upgrading our dwellings. Then I looked at the price tag. It's 10,000 guineas, so that ain't happening anytime soon. And we also found out that Bradley Baggs has a daughter. So that's something we'll concern ourselves about. And in fact, we can invite him to our home. This seems like a bad idea, but let's do it, regardless. Bradley storms through your door, mopping sweat from his brow, trailing in his wake a small, rotund lady with apple-bright cheeks. "Brian Bright, this is my wife, Brenda," he mutters. "I'm sure Bradley's told me all—" "Oh dear. I'm sure Bradley's told you all about me, Brian Bright," she says, framing it almost, but not quite as a question. The rest of the evening is ungodly awkward. "I did not know that you have a wife, sir. I suppose I should have figured it out from, the fact that you have a daughter, but, well, that was awkward. Hopefully more awkward for him than it was for me, though. The terrible secret that I could sell. And should, because I would like to improve my reputation as best I can. Yes. I'll take that money, why not? And you pay less for glimpses than the people over at Founders Fire, so that'll be the extent of our work. Leave, thank you. Remind me, what was the... right. Current affairs that I didn't sell last episode. I mean, I might as well. What was my assignment, though? That's what I want to know. Where can I find the assignment that I actually was, supposed to be taking care of for you guys? Because I'd love to know what it was. Is it under concerns? Real quick, give me a moment, I just want to check. Heir apparent, journalism. Caloram, that's where I need to go. Well, that's unfortunate, because I don't know where that is exactly. Nope, didn't mean to wander the streets, actually, but... sure. And again, it's the matter of the Mycenae and the Fungettos, as they call them. Yes, they are, debating things. Through spores. Things they don't want us to know about. But we'll worry about all that later. Today is a day of moving to deal with another one of our crew members. He's not dead, he's just temporarily gone. Otto, you see, he sort of just said he wanted a month off. We gave him a month off. So keep in mind it's the 20th of Dustfall. So we have to wait till the 20th of whatever's next. Oh, great. I can't remember what you call yourselves. I think it was the Invincible or something. I mean, I know they're not aggressive, so quickly. The Tyrannic, that was what it was. Right. The Tyrannic. Which, as far as super weapons go, is very common in this area, surprisingly. Huh. Well, regardless, we're gonna go to the City of Bridges real quick, because, I'm right there. Why not? Then we're gonna go to deal with Tybalt, and go to Athena, probably. The Athena one is questionable, just because, well, will we have the time? Don't know what else we might do over at Fargo Keep, and you never know when I might get distracted by literally anything that could possibly happen. Oh, nope, south. South is the direction I wanted. Yes, the City of Bridges. I don't recall this place. Huh. I'm shocked I've never been here. Regardless, a crisscrossing network of bridges, each groaning under the weight of hundreds of buildings, straddling a measureless abyss. Effluence from the higher bridges falls like rain on those below. The city has an elected mayor, but it is, as everyone knows, ruled by the consortium. Could go for taking on a bounty, but first things first. I believe I have a car passenger. Run along now. And, news. The newspaper industry in the City of Bridges isn't quite as powerful as in the City of Keys, but it still does good business. Contract disputes have led to more sporadic warfare between mercenary groups. The consortium have held a private gala to celebrate record profits. A bridge builder strike has been put down by mercenaries. Funny that. Well, the abyss beckons below. Yeah, saw that, was curious if there's anything alive down there. Well, oh. A green-cloaked mercenary informs you that the consortium requires your presence. He offers to escort you to Fortune Hall. You're led to a grand office in Fortune Hall. A chandelier hangs ponderous and ridiculous from the ceiling. The desk is built from only the most endangered trees. A pinch-faced old man sits behind the desk, flanked by two scribbling scribes. His eyes are hidden behind circular dark glasses. "My name is Basilmouth," he says, not looking up. "If you've come across any information relevant to the consortium on your travels, you're to bring it directly to me. Understand?" I see. Intriguing. And who exactly are you? "I'm an advisor and a consultant to those in the highest echelons of the consortium," he says. "As such, I like to know what's going on, and if you lead me wrong, I'll make a very small mark against your name in my register. The next day, every mercenary in the city will be fighting each other to bring me your head." He treats you to a wintry smile. "Ah, one of those assholes, I see. Well, let's take on a bounty. The station's plastered in wanted posters. The consortium pays handsomely for the heads of those who disrupt their trade." Ah, this is literally just... Oh. It's like a way of making combat profitable. Interesting. Most of the posters are rotting off the walls and well out of date. You find a couple that are recent. The first poster offers a bounty of 200 guineas for a man who the newspaper dubbed the Cruel Brute. He fled from the City of Knives after a brutal killing spree, and now spends his time preying on merchants in the dark. Can't have that. Won't allow it. No need for the repairs. Let's get this passenger first. Bound for Gandalf. It's gonna be a while before we go there, but fair enough. And, wander the bridges. There's something to be said for not looking down. An old man sits on the edge of Brabazon Bridge, contemplating the endlessness below. His knuckles are white on the railing. He shifts forward a tiny amount and sighs. Approach. The old man glares at you. "I suppose you want to stop me? Save your breath." Convince him not to jump. "No need for that." "Gods, but you're young." He shakes his head in wonder. "When did you all get so young? You see me and you think I'm ready to kill myself. Probably think I'm some desperate old fool drunk and in debt. Well, you'd be right. That ain't why I'm here." He raises his chin defiantly. "I'm going to meet an old friend." I guess persuade him? To tell me something, or just to not jump? Huh. The old man listens to your pleas. A faraway look steals over his eyes, but doesn't back away from the edge. "I've lived in this city all my life. When I was very young and I had no home, the cold fogs came up. Most decent folk were inside, but not me. I saw something rising from below, some great shadow. I called out to it, and it rested beside me a while, tired from the long flight up. Don't know what it was. I've been to the City of Angels, and it weren't one of those. No, it was tired and sad, and it spoke very well. It spoke about all manner of things I didn't understand about gods and tricksters, and it told me there was nothing for me up there, that if I jumped it would catch me. I was always too afraid, but now I'm old and nothing has proved it wrong, and I figure even if it's not waiting to catch me, I'd rather die down there knowing the truth than up here uncertain." Looks you dead in the eyes. "Well, you gonna stop me?" I mean, I'm curious, so part of me wants to let him go, but on the other hand, jumping into an abyss is a terrible choice, 9 times out of 10. So, stop him. He shudders violently. Fine. He steps delicately down from the railing and then collapses, a sheen of sweat on his brow. Whatever lives below, it's waiting. Tell those Cosmonaut fools that it's waiting and not for them. He hurries away. Cosmonauts? You look them up, a little-known group of enthusiasts who want to descend and explore the abyss beneath the City of Bridges. They sound interesting. That they do. Let's pay these Cosmonauts a visit. Most of the city considers them the fools. They believe in something below. Intriguing. The headquarters of the Cosmonauts juts over the abyss like a great concrete beak. As you approach, you can hear the squealing of metal under immense pressure. A vast winch spins overhead, accumulating a colossal knot of chain. Something is being reeled up from below. Your knock at the door is answered by an old man. A plate of twisted iron covers half his face like a scab. Come in, he urges. She's almost here. The other Cosmonauts are similar figures, worn down with lumps of metal clinging uselessly to their bodies. They stand around the open hole in the floor, staring down into ink-black depths. A mile-long chain dangles down and disappears into thinness. We wait. Okay. The golem turns the winch with mechanical patience. The abyss gazers jostle and whisper. Finally, something parts the mist below. A figure in a heavy rubber suit, crouching in a giant iron bucket. Her helmet is a dome-shaped brass cage. You okay, Greta? Calls down the old man. There's no reply from the Cosmonaut below. Not a good sign, he mutters, as the bucket finally reaches you. Greta is pulled free by a dozen hands and laid out on the floor. The old man checks her breathing, but she's totally limp. The metal has her. It's burrowing towards her heart, he announces. We need to cut it out of her, quickly. What? Quick, fetch your surgeon. Zhang Basho can handle this better than you or the old man. Zhang Basho arrives, dons surgical gloves, and begins unpacking scalpels. What are you milling about in here for, he barks. Get out, let me work. 20 minutes later, you're allowed back in. The metal's been removed, says Zhang Basho. Now she needs to get to a hospital. It was growing fast and I had to tear it out of her even faster. What? The metal's growing in her? Greta's transferred to a hospital. She still clings to life. The Cosmonauts gather in something like relief, but what, though? The old man delivers a speech to the assembled crowd. Cosmonauts have been going back with worse and worse attacks of the metal, he says. And next time there might be a death. He cannot allow the club to continue. It shall be disbanded at the end of the month. After, the old man taps you on the shoulder. I never got to introduce myself, he says, shaking your hand. I'm Anton. Thank you so much for saving Greta's life. We owe you a great debt. One of the Cosmonauts bends and picks up the twisted chunk of metal with tongs. Its stringy tendrils wave languidly. Throw it back down where it came from, says Anton. What is that metal? We don't know, says Anton. All tests identify it as ordinary iron, but there are flying things down there in the dark. If they get a scratch on you, the metal latches on, starts to grow. Why do you send people down into the abyss if it's so dangerous? Same reason you explore the house, if I had to guess, says Anton. Curiosity, bravery, foolishness. So the Cosmonauts are shutting down operations? Afraid so, says Anton with a shrug. If we send any more people down in those rust buckets, they'll just keep coming back hurt. What we really need is to build a proper machine, something that'll protect our Cosmonauts at any depth, but we don't have the materials or the funding. I mean, obviously we can fix that. I could bring you the right materials. Okay. That's a bit rough. Really, Anton brightens. Well, I've drawn up blueprints for something I think could keep us safe down there. I always thought it was just a fantasy, but he begins rummaging through his desk drawers. Here we are, the Chasmosphere, I call it. He hands you a crude blueprint, a bell-shaped vessel protecting the Cosmonauts inside with 3 layers of warding iron and witch glass. Those are the materials I'd need, says Anton. And a new golem. Poor old Bobby Pins here is getting a bit worn in the joints. Anton clasps the winch golem on the back, and it clanks sadly. I mean, I have some of those parts. How much witch glass did I have? Just the one? Huh. Bulletproof and bomb-proof, but it shatters at the touch of any living creature? Odd. And clearly I'm gonna have to buy, 3 more things of warding iron, which is 1,200 or something like that. That's not ideal. And the deactivated golem, I didn't sell all of mine, so I should have at least one left. Yeah, one deactivated golem, so that's fine. Alright, alright. Interesting place, though. Might as well take a bit of a rest. You trawl the taverns, drinking old times and lost friends and lessons learned. Yes, we've done this before. Come, time to go. South, not the City of Engines, not yet, anyway. No, I'm headed to Fargo Keep. Although, hello. City of Engines is rather close. You know, why not? Let's gather some news. By the way, what's our chances with convincing you to keep Waif around? Disadvantage. Decide later. Need an abundance of spirit, and we don't have that. What? Oh. Your heart light sputters and flickers and dies without a light bearer to care for it. The heart is gray and ailing. It'll be a while before you can charge it back up. In the meantime, you order your lookout to the Noctoscope and pray for your sanity. Well, I'm less happy about having Otto just hang around at home studying his creatures. Now that I know that that can happen. But I suppose it's fine. It's what he needs to do. This is day 4 of, I assume, 30. Great. Good. Oh well. It will probably be fine. Hi, just gathering news, and then I'm gonna be on my way. Thank you very much. Wait, I'm sorry, what? The weather engines have started making it snow frozen blood. Improvements to the city's cog systems will reduce congestion and confusion, claims the assembly. A new type of bomb has been invented and dropped into the bay for testing purposes. Interesting. Wander the streets, we might as well, after all. Oh, the largest and most well-known hovercog is Smogfeather, a behemoth that smothers whole streets of the city below in shadow. Yes, I've seen this before. The whole matter of the laws that make the machineries work sort of breaking down. Unfortunate for them, but not really our concern, is it now? Nothing I need there. A wondrous device, I mean... It's probably good for improving things at our museum, so I'll buy it, but... Oh, and you know what? Let's rent an emitter, see who we get. Oh! Wait, Finnegan and Skip. Oh, he was the one who was useless to me. Well, tempting as these are, we won't. Need a gunner after all. Need more gunners. Always need more gunners. And to the west, just because I'm not willing to pay. And then we'll go to Fargo Keep, I suppose. It's tempting to change out a few more of these people, but... I mean... Which reminds me, radical pamphlets, not the obscene ones. But yes, I kind of want to just keep them around until I've actually experienced their stories. I do wish they would stop doing that. Ah, dear. Down 3 and then left 2. Or, just left 2 now and then down. Didn't even get to read that note. Unfortunate. I still got people who are injured here, so I'm just gonna leave you be. Although you I kind of want to talk to. Huh. what's my relationship with him? Like, can I justify tossing him out at this point? Where would it be? It would be under... Oh, sorry. Yes, this matter again. I know. Hush. Oh, wait, current crew? Does that just give me... That gives me status. Doesn't really help me here. Relationship to Bradley Baggs is at a 0. Huh. Well. There we are then. South. And souther still. You know what the heck? Got nothing to lose. Let's flirt with this person who I really probably shouldn't be. Let's lead him on. Why not? A certain smile, a lingering look, gauges openness to a relationship. You never know where it might lead. Ha! Bradley is completely immune to flirtation. Eventually, you are forced to sit him down and ask politely if he's interested in moving your relationship to the next level. He goes a curious shade of purple. I'm a married man, he roars, leaping back as though burned. Good gods, is everyone on board this rust bucket absolutely depraved? Get away from me. He backs away so rapidly that he trips over and is forced to scuttle away like an oversized beetle. Well, he hates me a little, I think. I believe he does not like me. I'm totally okay with that, too. Let's see here. Truth be told, don't like him either. It's fine. It's all fine. Okay, gather ourselves some news. Well, gather our news first. We'll go from there. Sir Bruins organizes a tournament. More poems have been pinned to the leafless tree in the courtyard. One of the squires has gone on an absurdly overambitious quest, as squires are wont to do. Let's search for Bradley's daughter, that we didn't know we could search for. Perhaps she managed to find her way here and fulfill her dream. Perhaps. You find her in the training grounds, a woman fortunate enough to inherit few physical features from her father. She's furiously attacking a training dummy, her sword a blur, sweat clinging to her brow. Occasionally, she pauses to spit poetry at it. Nice. Approach her alone and ask how she feels about her father. I mean, you know my father? By now she's stopped fencing and sits next to you on the grassy floor. She introduced herself as Squire Ellen. Well, if you're here to convince me to come back home, forget it, I'm happy here. I mean, I just want to reunite them, no need for her to go home. Does she want to see her father at all? You can still leave with him none the wiser. She sighs, tempting, but since he's come all this way... Fetch Bradley. As soon as he sees his daughter, Bradley rushes forward to embrace her. She tolerates it for a moment, then pulls free. Dad, says Ellen, listen to me. I'm sorry I ran out on you and Mom, but you've come back into my life. I need you to apologize for the way you treated me, and accept that I'm going to become a poet knight. Bradley stares at Ellen and then at you. He goes slowly red. Didn't you ever dream of a life outside bureaucracy, Bradley? No, says Bradley, baffled. Should I have? I mean... God damn it, this guy. Okay, tell him to apologize to Ellen. Says Bradley. He grows redder. He takes a breath, grits his teeth, breaks into a sweat. Sorry. I'm sorry. Ellen looks impressed. I need to lie down, says Bradley weakly. Father and daughter chat for hours. She writes a letter for him to take to her mother. You give them some privacy. Back at the Kinetopede, Bradley has a kind of dazed wonder in his eyes. Thank you, he says hoarsely, and hurries to his quarters. That was nice. Let's enter the castle. Because I'm going to petition to become a poet knight. You meet with the three most respected of poet knights, Sir Caliphus, grey and venerable, Sir Bruin, leathery and perfectly coiffed, Lady Juliet, sharp-nosed and muscular. You stroll together through the courtyard, watching the squires practice their archery. Generally, those who join our order have trained with us since they were children, says Bruin pleasantly. I'm sorry, Wanderer, but we cannot accept you amongst us. But there have been exceptions, adds Sir Caliphus, a twinkle in his eyes. And Brian Bright's qualifications are obvious. I vote for acceptance. Sir Bruin blanches. It seems I have the deciding vote. says the Lady Juliet thoughtfully. What can you do to convince her? She's eyeing you up with obvious appraisal. In the past, we've only accepted untrained poet knights who proved their worth with a great quest, says Lady Juliet. As it happens, I have just such a quest in mind for you, Wanderer. One of our former members was led sadly astray, she says. A knight by the name of Sir Ezekiel. You may have noticed that the keep has a relaxed attitude to mind-altering chemicals, but poor Ezekiel was less able to control himself than most of us. He ended up stealing a number of rare books from our library to pay for his unfortunate habit. We exiled him, of course. He fled to Phobiter Quinn far to the east and fell into a kind of servitude beneath a terrible master. I want you to help him get his life back in shape. He will never be a poet knight again, but he deserves better than his current situation. Sir Caliphus is smiling to himself. Sir Bruin is nervously rubbing his jaw. I mean, the other option's impossible, so... Excellent! Lady Juliet clasps you on the back, making her teeth rattle. Sort this little matter out, and I'll be happy to accept you as a poet knight. Begin the quest. Spend an evening with them. Ah. You spend the evening with old Sir Caliphus in his study, sipping fiery whiskey and listening to stories of his old battles and accomplishments. He tells his tales with a delighted grin, not at all embarrassed or self-effacing, but nor does he sound like he's boasting. Towards the end of the night, he asks you for a story of your own. Words from another world, perhaps, he asks, wistful. Of course. He is utterly silent as you tell your story. When you're finished, he sighs. Thank you. He gazes into the roaring fireplace for a long time. Just as you think he's nodded off, he starts to speak. This new story is much darker than the others. A story of horrendous things he saw in his travel, of dark deeds covered up, of things he'd rather forget. Sir Caliphus bids you goodbye. Forgive the ramblings of an old man, he says with a smile. It's understandable. Let's see if we can convince them to take him on real quick. Lady Juliet oversees the Poet Knight's combat training. When presented with Tybalt, she looks him up and down with obvious dismay. She coughs. Forgive me, she says, but I don't have time to train every wandering novice who comes to the keep. I have enough trainees here already. But maybe you could? Or, you could not, that's fine. But maybe no. Okay. Well then. I mean, I'm at a slight advantage, but possibly losing all of my unsettling conjectures sounds bad. So, chat with her. Consider doing this, but obviously not going to do that now, and we're not. We know the purpose that our prisoner is going to be used for. I do want to check one thing, though. Just anywhere at all. Doesn't really matter. Hey, Bradley. Seems you don't have anything new to say, but... yeah, we helped him find his daughter. Nothing? Cool. I mean, he likes us, and that's nice and all, but... okay, maybe if we go back to the City of Keys, something will change there. And, I could cheat. And fail. Well then. Tempted to just cheat this, but at the same time... I mean, we have a quest that lets us solve it, so I don't think we will. No, and I think next episode we're going to be headed towards Athena. Though how, I haven't quite decided yet. Might go to the City of Masks, might not. I mean, I really need to have better stats to make sure that I actually resolve this problem between, well, I say between, with Agnes and Misery Guts, and the problem being the Drifting Bean, but that'll be a future problem. And I am curious about what else is hiding in all of this space. But again, for the future. For now, thank you for your time. Note the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly. And I shall see you all soon. Bye-bye.